you on with him, and then circle back in about 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're on with Ray.
Thank you, Thank you so much, Mr. Stevens. May I call you Ray?
You can. It's Stevenson.
Oh, Mr. Stevenson, you prefer? Okay.
No, it's Stevenson. You said Stevens, but it's fine. No, call me Ray, please.
Okay, thank you, Ray. You've played so many iconic characters on the big screen, and a great deal of them tend to be likable, but at times scary men that are, that are kind of like anti-heroes. Some of them are more heroes than others, but some of the signature characters that you played have been like Frank Castle, Isaac Serco, Titus Pullo, and even Volstagg is, for lack of a better expression, Volstagg seems like the kind of guy that you wouldn't want to be on the bad side of, you know what I mean? Especially in battle.
Absolutely. He wouldn't know whether to fight you or eat you.
Yeah. So, I was wondering how was your approach for Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard, accomplished so that you made the character your own, but still exhibited the characteristics that you have for many of your characters, which is basically I find that they're men made by both design and circumstances that command respect, but also instill fear, but they still manage to maintain charisma that you naturally have.
Well, I think it's a very good question, Mark. I think it's basically people who through adversities or through life experiences, whatever, who ultimately end up being true to themselves rather than pretending or living a lie or trying to live a projected view of themselves. So they leave other people to have some sort of projected view of them and just let it go because they're actually too busy getting on with things. And actually somebody who ultimately is that comfortable in their own skin is by very nature of that can be intimidating for other people who aren't, just by turning up and having a sort of profound confidence. Or just a confidence that comes from is balanced with humility, that they don't know all the answers, but they're not frightened to say that, but they do know what they know, and that itself can be intimidating, but they don't try and project that.
I got you.
I'm not projecting that can actually be quite intimidating.
So that's kind of like, in a sense, you're saying it's kind of like partially, like as a viewer, that's part of the baggage that I carry, perhaps from some of your other characters, and
No, I wouldn't say it was baggage. I think it's just like, if anything, it's a human trait with these people. Because there's been quite a few times when some of the characters I've played, the complexities or it's like the character's almost there on the script, and because the writers, when they're writing it, don't know who they're writing for per se, right? But they're written this character, and then if the part comes my way, I go to work and I start fleshing things out and finding nuances and relationships and attitudes to the other characters I'm playing with, the other actors and their characters.
Sure.
Just start to add many more layers, and so it's just the way I work, and it's
sure.
I hate it when an actor or when there's this thing about I don't think my character would do that, and my attitude is like, have you never woken up and gone, I did what last night? I mean, quite honestly, we're capable of doing anything, so your character within the realm of the story can behave in many ways, and basically it's like trying to just humanize it and show that whether their acts are particularly violent or particularly destructive or whatever, that basically there's no demons out there.
No, I understand.
Horrific things, but there's multi-layers within that.
What do you find? If you don't mind my asking, do you consider yourself a method actor, or do you subscribe to any of those schools of thought? That
I think the Stanislavski approach is completely valid, and it's a tool in your box, like the Meisner method, but also I consider myself as a jobbing actor, and having had a sort of classical training, if I was doing a period play, which you can mine the mores and peculiarities of a certain period and bring that to bear the clothes were presented. So you bring that to bed. It's not, there's no writer's got time to put all this detail in. You bring it as an actor, and that just fleshes it out even more. So, this is why I love what I do.
Of course. Well, I wanted to ask you, like, so when you, for instance, for Edward Teach, did you look at any film, or have you seen any past films of Blackbeard or television? Like the last person I saw play Blackbeard was John Malkovich on television,
Right.
but it was a totally different characterization, much older version of the character. But I was just wondering, like, do you actually once you got the role, or even before you got the role, did you research the character, or were you familiar with the character?
I researched him historically. I didn't go and look at other people's portrayals of him. I mean, I was a child. I saw early movies and that, but I didn't go and watch other people's portrayals because that's the dramatization they're working on. But there's so much documented history about this particular character.
Sure.
There's plenty of material to, get yourself in, and then look at ancillary material about in that period of time and from different places that are not necessarily ostensibly about Teach, but about the world in which she's in. And then you've got to leave that behind because you're ultimately playing a dramatization that is scripted, which is black sales drama.
Sure.
So
sure.
because we're not doing a sort of documentary from one historian's perspective, we're doing black sales. And you live and breathe and exist in that world, and you hopefully I bring something that slots in, is larger than life, but is actually part of the fabric of the series. That he's always been there in a sense, and will always be part of that fabric.
I have a question. From this having.
This is Kristen. I'm sorry, we're coming to the end of our time here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But thank you, and
thank you.
let me know over email if you need anything else.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.